My one had Woody Harrelson as the Punisher, and you know that's fucking good. That's some good casting.
How is that in universe?
Didn't have Woody Harrelson as the
How is
Punisher.
that in universe?
Woody Harrelson isn't in this one.
He's in the sequel as the Punisher.
You said it was Dolph Lundgren. You said Billy Bob Thornton was
Sorry,
thingy.
Bullseye.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson is
Oh
Bullseye.
yeah, sorry.
Did you say Billy Bob Thornton was
I didn't.
Bullseye?
Did you? No. What?
Did I black out again?
Yeah.
You did. Did Ave Maria start playing?
Okay, guys, why can I hear Ave Maria? Greetings and salutations, everybody. Audience, please excuse me while I black out and hear Ave Maria. Welcome back to Full Starts Podcast. We are here with our second Punisher movie in our Punanza, the 2004 Punisher film, starring John Travolta, Thomas Jane, James Carr.
Listeners,
He's
Piniello.
not reading this from a list.
He still doesn't remember
Ben
his
Foster,
Punisher's name. It's been
Laura
a week.
Harring.
It's been a full week, Dan, and you've still not.
It's been 2 long years, Dan.
After 3,000 years, finally. Guys, welcome back.
Thanks.
Who are we?
I have with me, as always, I have Ash,
Hello, that is me.
and I have Lewis,
I am a young David Suchet.
and I'm Dan, as always. So, Punisher 2004, opening thoughts. Give them to me.
Better than 89.
You get fucked.
Absolutely
Here,
right.
now,
With
a young David Suchet,
Right.
You two can get right the fuck out. You are off your fucking gourd if you think this is better than 89.
you are
No.
defensive.
I don't think, I know this is better than 89, and I'm not saying 89 is a bad film. It's a boring film that does not want your attention.
It's a
were such a dick.
it's a boring bad. Oh, that was
This movie is 2 hours and 5 minutes long.
It's too long.
Fuck all happens, and you're going to tell me that the 89
A lot
Punisher.
happens.
You're going to tell me that the 89
People
Punisher
die.
is boring.
Yes, more happens in this than it does in 89. It just drags on a little bit.
Fucking shit!
I know exactly what happens in this movie, scene for scene, plot for plot. I can tell you what this movie is about.
Listeners, I've got a pillow to muffle the sounds.
And to mask his hate boner. Primarily for that.
This episode's going to get loud. Warning.
Gonna get very loud. So, it's got 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, this film.
Yeah?
Yep,
What did Punisher 89 have? Was it 28?
28.
Yeah?
Very close.
Very close.
So,
Champions!
by
Very
a
close.
percent, it's better.
But I can only assume that's because more people have seen 04 Punisher, because more people were alive in the world.
Don't take a victory sip after that.
So much salt in the air. I can season my casserole with that. So, opening weekend, it made $13 million.
Uh-huh.
Total gross worldwide was 54. And it had a budget of 33 million, so it did make a profit. Not much of
Right,
a profit.
hang on, is that more or less than the 89?
More
Punisher?
than the 89
Oh, it's more,
Punisher.
is it?
More
Okay, Lewis,
successful.
it's more.
Fun fact as well. when
That
it
does
came-
not equal quality.
When it came out on DVD, Marvel were quite pleasantly surprised when it sold over 2 million copies. People were really into it and really wanted to buy the movie. So, and you don't have to buy a version that's only dubbed in German.
You don't have to buy that version. You rent it off of Amazon Video. There's
Also,
a
this-
difference.
Still weird.
The first thing that grabbed me about this is it has the official Marvel title card at the beginning.
Yes.
So it's part of Spider-Man, Daredevil, Elektra. It's part of that whole rejuvenation.
Yes, this was back when Marvel was just starting out, giving out their franchises proper to studios to make films. So, it said around this sort of similar time, we've got stuff like Blade, we've got Daredevil, we've got Elektra. So, we're starting to see superhero heroes come into the opening. But so I haven't got your
It's got the Marvel logo up top. I tell you what else it's got. It's got credits and music for the opening title sequence, flat ripped off from Kill Bill.
You mean Kill Bill ripped this off?
No, I mean this ripped Kill Bill off.
No, I mean because Kill Bill came out later, so Kill Bill ripped this
Did
off.
it though?
not.
Yeah.
Did it though?
No.
As far as I'm concerned, it did.
Because Kill Bill 1 was 2003?
No,
Was it 2004?
Two was 03, one was like...
Well, there we
early.
go. Either way, proves my point. The music in this, flat out Kill Bill.
Score was done by. So speaking of music, the score was done by Carlo Silioto.
Yep.
It's a good score.
Yeah, it's a great score.
Yeah.
Is it? Because at points it sounds exactly like Austin Powers.
Well, it sounded bloody good.
It sounds
Fits
like
the
Austin
Punisher.
Powers to the point where I had to go to IMDb and check.
No, it doesn't sound like that at
not
all.
the fucking Austin Powers theme tune. The
So it doesn't sound like Austin Powers at all.
Motherfucker, you wait.
No, I
It doesn't
won't wait.
sound
You're
like
wrong.
the Austin
You're
Powers
just
theme
completely wrong.
tune.
Why should I wait?
It sounds like the Austin Powers score.
Ba-na-na-na.
That bit. You know the bit I mean.
That 1 second sound. Oh yeah, I guess the entire soundtrack sounds like
I
that
don't
1
know
second
the entire
horn.
Austin Powers score, but when I
Right,
heard
so
it in
you're
The
wrong then.
Punisher, I was like, that's the Austin Powers score. I'm going to go to IMDb and check to see if he did the Austin Powers score. Oh, no, he didn't.
No.
He just ripped off Kill Bill and Austin Powers.
I want chicken, I want liver. Meow mix, please deliver.
I'm so angry already.
Why? Because it has a good score and a good cast.
It
and it's
doesn't
better
have a good
movie.
score.
It does.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't.
Better
You
than
hate it just
89.
because it's the 04
It has
Punisher.
a ripped off score.
It doesn't.
It fucking does. Move on.
Who cares? It works.
Move on. Move on. Move on so I can get
get you.
angry about the rest of the fucking film.
Think positive, Lewis.
Go on then. Give your openings.
My opening is at 5 minutes and 30. I don't like that we're introduced to the Punisher as a blonde, cream suit, sandal wearing, cane wielding, stereotypical camp German. Feels weird to see Frank Castle do that. Feels at odds with everything I know about the character.
Which is nothing.
And if anyone there is suspected to be a cop, it's obviously that fucking guy.
It's funny. He's actually blonde in real life,
Yeah, I know he is.
but he already
looks
dyed
like-
his hair black for the
He
movie.
looks like a cross between Heath Ledger and the bloke who played Two-Face.
Yeah, it's weird. He wore a blonde wig for that because he'd already dyed his hair black at that point.
And you told me he was meant to be Haitian, and that guy, fucking Thomas Jane, needs to get an acting coach to like a
He's
dialect
not meant to
coach.
be Haitian, right?
I think he's supposed to be because they mentioned about Haitian gangsters in
Guten
that scene.
Tag,
But he
I am from
talks-
Haiti.
He talks German.
Yeah, he does.
Bad German.
Yeah, I know. See, I'm not sure because they mentioned Haitian gangsters, but then he has a bad German accent.
But
So
then there's
I'm
no
not 100%.
Russians. Did you get confused Haitians and Russians?
No.
There's Russians on the boat.
He's wearing a cream suit and sandals and has a cane, and this is the Punisher.
No, this is Frank Castle, the cop, before
Yeah.
he's the Punisher. So, you
It's
know.
Before he, retires at the age of 33.
It's pretty funny, actually. It's pretty funny. Fun fact, actually, he was the first and only actor that they asked to play the title role.
I mean,
They went straight to him to art and said to him, "We want you to be Punisher."
He'd come off as successful roles in blah, blah, blah.
I'll be
and
honest.
blah,
I'll be
blah.
honest with you. Thomas Jane in this movie, Thomas Jane as the Punisher. I'm all right with. I'm all right with Thomas Jane. Everything else surrounding Thomas Jane, we'll get into.
Like the twins, one was just had a mustache.
We'll get
Did
into.
you get they were played by the same actor?
No.
Really? Although, actually, I liked his acting difference between the two. I thought it was quite nice.
One just having a mustache.
No,
and one-
they had different personalities.
Yes, they did.
Different mustaches.
So the opening starts with a shootout and a mob boss's kid gets shot by accident.
Yeah, because he
by
gets
some
his
gangsters.
gun out. After the police have trained their guns on him, he gets his gun out and starts gesturing with it. Or
Yeah.
gesticulating.
But it's not. But it's the gangsters that shoot him. They go, "Oh, blur," and they
Yeah.
blow him away with a thing.
Ugh, blah, blah, blah.
Once again, want to suck the blood?
Yeah, but they're vampire gangsters. What can I say?
What are you doing on our turf?
But yeah, I thought it was a good opening. He seemed a bit cold about the fact they just got a mob boss's kid killed, who wasn't supposed to get killed. So well, fuck it, whatever. You guys can deal with it. I'm
But he
retired.
also caught him in the act. For him, it was a successful case.
I guess it just feels a little cold.
I mean, do you want your Punisher to be an emotional fella?
I'm fine with him being an emotional fella.
No.
Do you want him to hug you and give you kisses at night?
I mean, not really. If the Punisher was real, I wouldn't want him to give me hugs and kisses.
I don't know where else to go with this.
13 minutes in, Frank he's retired. He's at home playing with his family, and I write that the Punisher doesn't need all of this. We don't need to see all of this up top at the start of the film. We don't need to see him playing with his family and the fact that he's got a family and he's a happy family man. That's
Why not?
We don't need to see Tony Stark come from a weapons dealer to realizing that weapons dealing is bad. We don't
Yeah,
need to see Captain America get picked on as a small weedy boy to become a big boy and then realize that bullying
Yes.
is bad.
We
Yes.
don't see
we don't
Thor how
need
to forget to use a
see-
hammer.
yes, you do, because all that is part of their journey.
Yeah, this is also part of
How
his
is
journey.
this not a journey?
The Punisher doesn't have a journey to being
Punisher's
the Punisher.
thing
Yes,
is
he
that
does.
his
No, he
wife and
doesn't.
kid dies.
His wife and kid die.
Yeah, it's
That
the
is not a
trigger.
journey.
It's
That
what
is a
causes
trigger.
him to
We
become the
do not
Punisher.
need 40 minutes of him and his family doing fuck all.
Not 40 minutes, like
You
10.
know what? No, I tell you why.
Well,
we
it's
did
not
this.
10. It is 30 minutes. Sorry, 32, 33 minutes before the family get killed.
How else are you going to film in Puerto Rico? How else are you
Look.
going to get 50 white blokes
Look.
to Puerto Rico
The
for
best.
filming?
Actually,
the
it's
best,
mostly filmed in Tampa, Florida.
Why did they go to? Why did they put all that effort into going?
That's the one other place they went, just because the only reason they filmed in Tampa, Florida, because it was the cheapest place, but it also happened to be the most rainiest season at the time.
Look.
So it kind of fucked them.
The Netflix series gets it right. The 89 Punisher series gets it right. We do not need
No,
to spend...
89 does not get
we
it right.
do not need to spend all this time with Frank's family to know that he loved his family.
89 Punisher is a clown.
We
I'm
don't...
sorry.
Hang on,
he is.
What the fuck
89?
if you're going to call the 89 Punisher a clown? What the fuck
He
is
wears
Thomas Jane in
fucking
this?
clown makeup.
What is Thomas Jane in this with all his... Oh, I'm fine. I'm going to faint now. I'll get there. We'll get there.
89,
Comedy.
89, we also get all the flashbacks for his family because we still have to know he had a family that he
Yes,
felt for.
flashbacks are fine. That is what the Netflix series does as well. Flashbacks are fine. I don't need to spend 40 fucking minutes at the
Flashbacks
start
are
of the
weak.
movie doing nothing.
This brings us in. This that's
Okay,
my
so
cushion. This
this-
brings us in the story. This makes us feel part of the story.
No,
We
it
travel
doesn't.
along the same
No,
route
it
as he does.
doesn't. Why
You're
does
more
it make you
invest-
feel part of a
You're
story?
more
more
invested
invested.
in what happens to him now because you've
Why?
seen his family die. Because
Why?
you've seen it.
Do you care about his wife and children after spending 30, 40 minutes with them?
No, because we know what's
No.
going to happen. We know what
Yeah,
Punisher
actually.
is.
I don't care.
I actually do because I don't actually want him to get shot.
I gave more of a shit about his old man, who
I gave a shit about fucking Chief Brody from Jaws.
Yeah, it was cool. So this, you might find this interesting then, is initially the first scene was going to be in Kuwait during the Gulf War.
Uh-huh.
And we would have started there with, him going through hell
Yeah,
over there.
is Punisher legit in the comics a soldier?
Yes.
I don't know why both the 89 version and this version decided to make him a cop, because
No, this one calls him a soldier. At his retirement party, they say it's the best soldier and the best officer
no,
I
he's
know.
part of the FBI. It's
Uh,
made
You're not
explicit.
soldiers in the FBI.
No, explicitly.
Yes, they
hold
do
on, it's-
explicitly say he was part of the FBI.
It's the CIU unit.
Oh, whichever one.
Or
it
the
was.
CTU, Counterterrorism Unit, which is a fake unit, which
Yeah.
turns up in 24.
The point is, like
But yeah, it would have,
the
it
fact
would have
that
been in
Frank
Kuwait.
Castle was in the army,
In the army.
and that is
Comic
why-
wise, he was in Vietnam.
that is the reason he is able to just go. I'm the Punisher now. I'm going to go kill everyone because the army right fucked him up.
No, it's his family that drives him over that point.
No, that is the trigger. But the reason he can so easily go and kill everyone with no fucking morals and no
He's a
repent
sociopath,
is
yeah.
because he was in the army and the army right fucked him up.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that. Absolutely right. So this is based on two comics in particular.
Uh-huh.
So this was based on Punisher Year One and Welcome Back, Frank. These were two heavily influenced Punisher comics, which I'd say give them a read, give them a check
I
out.
like the juxtaposition between those names. It's like Punisher Year One is like a Terminator movie. That's the name of a Terminator movie. Welcome Back, Frank is.
It's an indie
like
drama.
It's a flashback to the 50s when a man was a man and a woman made him a cheesecake.
It's an indie dramedy starring Alan Arkin and fucking Adam
Oh my
Scott.
god, that's fucking beautiful.
Welcome back, Frank.
That wins so many awards at the Cannes. It also takes
The
some
cans, ladies and
The
gentlemen.
cans.
The cans.
the cans of beer we are drinking. It also takes stuff from Punisher Warzone at Warzone.
There is a comic called Warzone, but I don't think it.
And
I don't think it.
I
did
can't
it
remember because
start?
there's also
No.
there's
Punisher
also
Warzone was
Warjournal.
2010, so it came out after this movie, so it couldn't be Punisher Warzone.
No, War Journal. That's it. I also take stuff from War Journal and some other long running comic stuff. I think initially the original edit was closer to like 4 or 5 hours. If they'd gone with the initial script,
Wow.
this movie would have been like 4 or 5 hours.
This movie
It's
is
so long.
is already 45
Do you know
minutes too
what
long.
they would have added in that?
Hmm.
Do you?
No, not really. Like the original script was so heavily edited and cut that they don't really there's no real mention of what he was initially.
I don't know what else he would.
Another 45 minutes of them fucking around in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but the old man. is-
salty about them fucking around in Puerto Rico.
It's
Because I
weird.
don't give a fuck.
It's
Why
weird.
would anybody give a fuck? His
Because-
family should just be dead at the start.
The old man says, "Yeah, we brought everyone here. It's been a lot of time. It's been 5 years since our last reunion. No fucking wonder if they got to come all the way to Puerto Rico. Every single one of
Actually,
them.
that does have one of my funniest lines when they're at the
Can
funeral.
we give the old man some reverence? It's Chief Brody. He killed 2 Jawses. Jawseye.
Jaws eye?
Jaws the OC.
Jawses.
A mouthful of jaws.
Yes, a gaggle of jaws.
Fistful of jaws.
For a few jaws more. So
The good, the bad, and the jaws.
the funniest line in that movie is obviously when they're at the funeral and they say, go kill him. And his wife's like, oh, his whole family. And it just turns out his entire family is
Oh, there. Yeah,
And
that's
they just
actually,
get mowed
that's a
down.
good point.
It's nice and contrived, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, also, and him being given the Punisher logo by some by the Voodoo Man.
That can fuck right off. That can
so-
fuck right off.
It's so
Why would
funny.
his son buy him a Punisher Skull t-shirt? Why do we
Wait,
need an origin story
from-
for the fucking t-shirt?
From a Voodoo Man who lives across the bay.
And then he
Why
goes,
is the Voodoo Man... Why does he have a t-shirt printing press?
Fucking fantastic.
but then he goes, thank you, here's a stick.
Yeah. He
fucking
gives
love
him
that.
a stick.
Just went, here's a stick, thank you. And he went,
I'm
go
gonna
with
take
God.
I'm gonna take my pistols and the shotguns and you can have my stick. Yeah, he's saved by voodoo magic. There are, I can't remember all of them, but there are a lot of characters from the actual comics in here. Like Spacker Dave
Mhm.
is one of them, the Russian,
Yep.
obviously, which we'll get to the Russian
I like the Russian.
eventually. But yeah, so his whole family gets murdered, and it's quite a brutal scene when you think about it. Like, it opens up with an old woman getting shot in the chest, and kids are getting blown away.
It doesn't. It doesn't. You hear a gunshot off screen and then see an old lady clutch her chest.
Yeah. And then he go, Mama?
Yeah.
Yeah, the woman got
And then-
shot, Lewis. That's how that works.
But you don't see the woman get shot. You also don't see
Yeah, you
Chief-
also don't see Bambi get shot either. Bambi's mother gets shot.
Yes,
sorry.
should.
But Bambi...
They just stopped drawing the deer. Oh, I guess that's not sad.
Tell you what, Bambi's fucking effective with it though. This movie,
No,
Chief
he's
Brody
not.
gets taken out like a sucker off screen with a shotgun to the back.
What's up with that thing?
Yeah, unceremoniously gets shot in the back.
It's not unceremoniously. No death in this movie is unceremonious.
Talk about
Yes.
only
Man on
Frank's-
a boat. Man
Only-
on a bike.
Not man on a boat.
At the party, a man tries to flee on a bike, gets shot. Man tries to just be on a boat.
gets shot. Mother's minding her own business, gets shot.
Nothing in this movie is unceremonious. There's the
Except
deaths
all
in
the
Punisher
things we just
89.
mentioned.
Except for all those things, yeah. You'll just ignore them to make your own points.
Just took out a room of samurai.
No, he didn't.
He
No,
did.
Not samurai.
They were. They had
Nunchus.
samurai
Oh, not
swords.
in the first. Yeah, the end. Yeah.
Right. I tell you what. I'll give you a thing that I like about this film.
Go on then.
I like that they give the family, his wife and kid, I like they give them some sense of urgency. They try to escape and fight back. But it takes a full half an hour
It does.
for them to die.
I will concede that you don't need all that, and a bunch of that could have been done in flashbacks. I will give you that.
No, you can do it without flashbacks. You don't need flashbacks.
Well, every
You
movie
can
has
have it there
flashbacks
in
now.
Puerto Rico. You can have
Puerto
it there just
Rico.
doing that. You
The
just-
Punisher's origin story is not interesting. It's not, oh, he's a school kid in love with this girl and gets bitten by a radioactive spider. It's pretty cool. And it's not,
They stole that
You
from
see, but when you say
Spider-Man.
like that doesn't sound very interesting.
A man is
Guy gets
rich
bit by a
and his
spider, has
parents
spider
are dead.
powers.
But you compare
Yeah.
the Punisher's origin story to the origin stories of like actual superheroes, and it's not
No,
interesting.
you can't. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, I can give you that. Although
So we don't
it's-
need
It's
to spend.
about as
It's-
interesting as other superheroes with no superpowers, a la Batman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or Thor. Thor.
Thor's got superpowers on result of being a god.
Yeah, but
Superman is a
the
god.
first Thor is he has to remember how to pick up his hammer. That's
Doesn't
pretty
remember.
shitty.
He has to be worthy of the hammer. It's a bad film.
Wait, oh, I remember how to be good. Hammer. Anyway,
Good means smash bad robot.
so he goes back. He drags his grave back, dumps it on a golf course.
Yeah. After half an hour of nothing, carry on.
It's so salty, so fucking salty. What I do like about this is that he's not hiding himself. This is always one of my favourite things about Punishers. He doesn't care. Like if you're gonna get Punisher right, he doesn't give a fuck if anyone sees him or uses his name or whatever. He's gonna kill people. He doesn't care about showing his face.
And he's gonna do it till he himself is killed,
yeah,
which I like.
yeah. He doesn't give a fuck. Which is I will give every Punisher has got that right.
You
don't
say
care.
that. Doesn't kill a lot of people in this movie, does he?
I can give you the total kill count.
Go on, then.
Total kill count for this film is 45 bodies.
Yeah?
45 people he puts in the ground.
It's not a lot of people, is it, compared to the 8-9
Dolph
Punisher?
Lundgren killed 25 a year before that 1 year.
Yeah. And
The
in that
actual-
1 year, how many did he get?
Not enough, obviously.
And also...
Didn't kill the kid.
Actually, do you
also,
know what? It
this
might have been on
Punisher
par.
doesn't, kill anyone.
What are you talking about?
He doesn't kill anyone until, almost an hour into the movie.
Right, okay. So you had to clarify that.
Until he
Very
becomes a
clearly kills
Punisher.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An hour into the movie.
Oh,
No,
an
half
origin
an hour into the
story.
movie when
It
his
takes a
family's
while,
dead.
doesn't
As
He
it?
you
does
said.
not become the Punisher then.
Yes, he does.
No, he
The
fucking
immediate
doesn't.
thing he does after that is go out, rob a bank, string someone's up, tortures them.
Doesn't kill him though, does he?
Use them
No,
before
I really like that.
He
torture scene.
pokes him with a lollipop.
Yeah, it's good.
that torture scene was actually from the comics.
Good, I like it.
Fucking stupid.
I can't remember
That's
which one. but
psychological
Fucking
torture.
stupid.
That's
I
good
don't,
quality torture.
I don't care. I don't care what that is.
I don't care. I'm so upset. I'm just gonna be salty.
I do not like Trickster Frank.
Come on, salty boy.
I don't like this
Think
Frank
so.
with his German impressions and his pranks and his japes and his larks. Just
Japes
go
and
fucking
larks.
punish someone.
Oh, hang on. Japes and Loves, 89. Don't fucking... Every Punisher is a deadpan pun master.
What? What the fuck are you talking about?
Punchan.
Oh,
Is this
I'll
yes,
give
no,
you, I'll
or
give you one
multiple
example.
choice?
Yes.
Look, his family is dead.
And yet
Now
he
is
still
not the time for
quips.
lapes and jokes.
They all
Yeah.
do it. Lapes
No,
and
they
jokes.
don't.
They all do their lapes and jokes.
No, they don't all do their
They
lapes and
do.
jokes.
Yes, they absolutely do.
They fucking don't.
You know that's a lie.
I'm sitting
You,
in a
you
puddle
can
of
sit
piss,
there and
wanna
think that,
talk
but you
about it.
know that's a lie. Anyway, we've barely spoken about what's going on in the film.
Because fuck all has happened so far.
No, because you keep saying that
So
and not
much
actually
has
fucking
happened.
going forward.
Tell me what has happened, guys.
Okay,
You get to
he's
learn
in-
about...
In the first 45 minutes, what happens?
He retires from being. He sets up a drug bust, and it goes kind of south, but it kind of works. He retires. He goes on holiday with his family. His family get killed. He goes back. He strings up a guy and tortures him. He robs a bank and kills
No,
two
no,
people.
no.
That's
No.
what he does in the first 45
No, it
minutes.
isn't. No, that
Yes, it
bank.
is.
That bank
Verbatim.
scene doesn't happen until 50 minutes.
Ooh.
So,
He was going to move to the London office.
So
I was
all
looking
that stuff
forward
that
to
just
him moving
happened-
to
in
London.
45
happens.
minutes, 6 things have happened.
Right. Things have happened. So
Six.
I just told you
doesn't
what
matter.
happened.
6 fucking things have happened.
just said
And
some good
all of
things.
them are inconsequential.
How?
Right. Thank you for agreeing with me that things have happened.
How are they inconsequential?
What do you mean, how are they inconsequential?
What are the 6 things?
Why the fuck do I need to see his family on holiday in Puerto Rico? Why the fuck do I need to know where he got his Punisher t-shirt from?
Why
Okay.
the fuck do I need to see him in a sewer? Where he
Because
lives.
that's where he lives.
But why do I need
We
to
see
see
where
that?
he lives in this film as well.
But why do I need to see it? I just see him punish. I don't see
I
where he
wanna
lives.
punch you so fucking hard.
You know, look, if you're gonna, you have to level the same criticism of both films.
You do.
I am. I am.
No, you're
No,
not.
you're
I
not.
am.
You
That
are
face.
roast hitting yourself to 89's Punisher, and I will give you this: I am roast hitting myself to 04's Punisher.
I've done
So I will
neither.
give you
I
that.
have enjoyed 04 more than 89.
But why?
Because it's more of a film.
I will give you that it is a more competently shot movie. The crew on this movie are more competent.
Here's the thing. This
Do you
is
know who's
how I would
directed by?
rate.
Since we're here,
Go on.
Jonathan Hensley.
DeHaan?
Jonathan
DeHaan?
Hensley.
I don't know, something like that.
The Who Booth?
Yeah, Jonathan Hensley. It was his debut. Was this film?
Mm-hmm.
The only other stuff he did after this was Welcome to the Jungle, not
Jumanji.
Jumanji, and Kill the Irishman.
That's
Two
the
films I haven't
rundown
heard.
for US
yeah.
listeners.
But he did work on as a writer, as like a sort of screenplay person on a few other films. Nothing, no like major writing titles on them, but worked on them.
This movie has a Spike and Iggy. And we spend
Spacker Dave and Thingy, yeah.
we spend a lot of time with these comedy sidekicks.
Well, no,
We
we
do.
don't. We don't spend a lot of time with them. We spend a lot of time in their company as things are happening with the Punisher. So we get things from their point of view rather than...
not really.
Well, no, we get this is the sound from their apartment. This is their relation to Joan.
Yes, Joan, who is a brand new character introduced at like 58 minutes into the movie.
Who looks very similar to his late wife.
Oh, that's something else on the beach when they're pointing out that's a stingray in the thingy. That was a horseshoe crab.
Yes, not a stingray. Yeah.
I don't know why they ADR'd. Look, it's a stingray. It's a fucking horseshoe crab. Is horseshoe crab just like, is that just copyrighted or something? I don't
There's another thing that happens in the movie, people. They misidentify a stingray. Ooh, Punisher.
That was, yeah, Punisher, the popsicle scene was from Warzone. That was the comic I was thinking of.
50 minutes in.
I was also improvised.
50
No, sorry, not that one,
minutes.
different
50 minutes in, he's getting ready to rob a bank because he does that around 55
No,
minutes.
50 minutes in, we get a shot of the Punisher in his full Punisher regalia.
And like,
And
it looks good.
He does look better than Dolph.
Yeah,
yes.
a dead boy's t-shirt looks good on him.
Yeah.
Do you know, initially they showed that to be a much cleaner, like closer to the comic Punisher skull. But then, fanboys complained. Like, oh, it's too clean. So they dirtied it up.
Actually, you know what? He looks good from the front, but when you get that shot of him walking out of the bank from behind and his like big coat is just got fluffing, it looks a bit like a skirt. That's not so good. But
Do you
from
ever-
the front, does look better than Frank.
Like,
does
do you ever think,
does
like,
look better than Dolph.
Punisher should be a lot beefier than we see him.
I think he's alright.
I always think Punisher should, like, people playing should
He's
be like
very,
quite,
very beefy in the comics, as I recall.
like my understanding. I don't actually know too much, but my understanding he's
He
fairly
always
jacked.
wears tight-fitting t-shirts, which will do it for me.
That's true. And to be fair to Jane, he trained for like 6 to 7 months with the Navy SEALs for the role. So
Something about having a good time.
off, slapping your fins together for fish.
51 minutes 30, he finally punishes someone.
He robs a
Good.
bank.
Shoots those guys.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
very.
What do you mean good? That is halfway through the movie.
Good. So we've had his origin story. This is his redemption point, becoming the Punisher at the halfway point. Perfect point to do it in a movie.
I tell you what, would be a perfect point to do it in a movie if the movie was 90 minutes long, which this movie is not.
Oh, so
See,
you're
no, I
saying
can-
they did it earlier than the halfway point, so that's disappointing to you somehow?
Just fucking.
Lewis, you may take the stand.
People
sir.
were angry with Ang Lee's The Hulk because it took like 35 minutes for the Hulk to actually appear.
See, I wasn't.
Punisher doesn't appear until fucking 51 minutes into this movie.
Were people angry about that other than this cunt?
I mean,
Yes, they were. You go back to 2003, have a look.
2003, before the movie came out.
No, Ang Lee's Hulk.
Oh,
came out
sorry.
2003.
No, I meant the Punisher. Are people angry about the Punisher being
I have no
revealed?
idea. My point is that people were angry that the Hulk took half an hour to show up in Ang Lee's movie. The Punisher here doesn't show up until almost halfway. It's not
quite.
good. That is not good when your movie is the Punisher and it
Okay,
takes
here's the thing.
half the movie for him to punish someone
When your movie is the
before
Hulk,
moving on to the rest of his scheme.
I'll be honest with you. When we're coming up to Warzone next, I do know a little bit about it, and we are going to see the complete opposite. And I don't think you're going to like it,
We'll see.
if I'm honest with you.
We'll see. I've never seen Warzone. I'm kind of excited for it.
so when your
Okay.
movie is the Hulk and the whole thing is this bloke, this shitty little bloke you don't really care about turns into a big green bloke you do care about, that's what you want to see in the Hulk film. You want to see the Hulk. You don't want to see Banner.
What's wrong with Banner?
Because it's not Banner the film, it's Hulk the film.
But what's wrong with Banner?
Lewis, you know what I'm trying to get at here. Do not sabotage this.
I'm not trying to sabotage it. I want to know what your beef with Banner is, because Banner's an interesting character, because he's like a torn. He doesn't know whether to use this monster or
He is.
compress it.
He is. However, if maybe you wait 40, 50 minutes to see the Hulk in the Hulk film, you might be a bit aggrieved. The Punisher is Frank Castle. Frank Castle is the Punisher. We see him from the second minute, if not before.
We don't. The Punisher is the Punisher. You come to the Punisher movie to see the Punisher punish people while wearing a skull on his chest.
Dan, who's the Punisher?
Well, in this movie, it's Thomas Jane.
And who's Thomas Jane playing?
Did you have to check
Frank
your notes
Castle.
again?
I may have had to check my notes again. So robs a bank, and it's a very Western thing. And the director took a lot of inspiration from from like the old sort of like Dirty Harry, Death Wish, sort of Western
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
there was
Guns on the
so-
hips, wiggling the
Yes,
fingers.
so
Yes.
many needless shootouts.
Yeah,
It's like-
that was a silly thing that
Bam, 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 bam.
back the
It's
way
not
you came.
Deliverance.
boy.
I know, sorry. I got it
Be a
wrong.
very different film.
I'm gonna punish you. Squeal like a pig, boy.
Oh God, don't.
After that bank scene, my next note is, oh fuck, this comedy sidekick duo, they're going to play a sizable part in this movie, aren't they? Shit. That is my note verbatim.
Yeah, I do play.
They were a good foil.
They weren't a foil.
They were a
I
foil.
gotta admit, I enjoyed watching him set up his little flat to be full of like grenades
Yeah.
and pistols and
Yeah.
hiding stuff around. I thought it was quite fun.
There's quite a bit of Home Alone in this movie, isn't there?
I enjoyed watching him set it up, but when's the landlord gonna check in?
Never. That's the point.
And the thing with fans, I see that in some American movies, with just fans in the middle of your apartment.
Is it an apartment? Because he's got an elevator in the middle of it.
In the middle
Yeah.
of the apartment. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's elevator. Like that is weird. Like,
That is weird,
Do you
isn't
know
it?
what it is? It's a David Cage apartment.
Ah, naturally.
Yeah. Yeah. So we get to see one of our first comic book characters, the specialist they bring in.
No, let's
the guitarist.
I'm before them.
Oh,
And
I
before
love
then.
that guy. But before then, yeah.
Yeah.
53 minutes. Frank is on his own in his apartment, flashing back to his dead family.
Yeah.
I write a couple of things. Number one, this is all we needed backstory-wise. The movie could have lost the first half an hour, 40 minutes, kept this scene, and we'd have all the same information.
No. You
Yes.
just get a woman looking back at a camera and going, "Ah."
And we can infer that that is his son and his wife from everything else that has happened.
I
But
can-
number
I
two,
can
the
see your
movie
point.
doesn't do that, and is now flashbacking to stuff that we've already seen, and this movie is already 30 minutes too long.
Yeah, I can see that as a valid point. I will
Also-
concede that.
Dan, as this is your film that
Hmm.
you directed and produced, why did
If you directed and produced this, mate, I'm going to fucking stab you straight through the bottom jaw, like that guy later on in the movie.
That's a great kill.
That is a good kill.
It's a
I'll give you
great
that.
kill.
why did you change the dead daughter to a dead son?
I don't know. I don't know is the answer for that.
Yeah, just having a rough patch with
I just forgot, clearly. I think so. I don't want to lose the upside down interrogation scene because I think it's a good scene,
It is very good.
and I don't want to lose that.
I mean,
I
it's, it
because
is,
what
it
that
is,
is that-
it is
that
a
shows you-
fine, it is a fine scene. Okay, I'm just a little annoyed that Frank is quite in this movie fairly jokey.
It was jokey in the 1891.
It wasn't really.
Just because it was Dolph Lundgren
In
completely
comparison-
deadpan, if you gave those lines to someone else,
When we get to the fight with the Russian, I'll go into how jokey Frank is in this movie. But 58 minutes in, movie introduces a brand new character, Joan. Why should I care?
because she's fit in...
She's not that fit.
Well, when it's one chick,
She
too
does
many dicks
exercise.
situation. You got two naturally ugly fellas and her.
I'm not sure if I can include this. This sort of talk.
Well, you two know, as naturally ugly fellas, that if there is a good-looking
Oh.
chick... oh, sorry if I cut too deep there.
It's all right.
Well.
I'll take my height advantage.
I've had 6 gay men hit on me, so fuck you. They must be doing something right.
So, do we want to talk about the guitarist?
I just want to talk about Joan some more and
Okay.
why I should care.
I ain't got an answer for you.
I'm trying to
Like,
work out...
why is this movie?
She's
As-
someone I would cut from the movie because I
Yeah.
find her unnecessary.
Why-
I wouldn't cut Spacker Dave because I
Yeah.
like his character. I like him.
I expect Dave works. I like the other bloke
Yeah.
because he worked well for one of my favourite scenes, the Russian.
The movie just needed to be proto John Wick. Just go kill people. Cool. That's
but
what
there
the
you
Punisher
go.
is.
John Wick is a good film because it's a mercenary doing what a mercenary does, a hired gun. Punisher is just a bloke who's killing people who don't deserve it because he feels they deserve it.
It's proto
I
John
think-
Wick. I didn't say John Wick.
I think the failure of these Punisher films we're going to see is, like, ultimately the Punisher is a sociopath, and
Well-
he's unfeeling and pretty much uncaring to most people.
As much
And
as
we won't really see that until the Netflix series
Hmm.
of a man who just does not care anymore.
As
about
much as
anyone.
I liked the upside down torture scene, I was hoping they'd follow that through to the rest of it. So later on, when Spacker Dave gets tortured,
Yeah.
I was hoping it would be a kind of I don't really want to torture you. I'm just going to use psychological torture.
Hmm.
Is that how the Punisher is in the comics? Because it sounds like he doesn't care and he would just torture full on.
Yeah, well,
It would.
there's one
From
thing
everything
where
I know about him, which I'll admit I don't know all the
There's-
minutiae, he just sort of torture and kill the guy.
yeah, he's he's nasty. There's one scene in one of the comics where in order to get at this guy who's a pretty hardened, it's kind of hardened as Frank is. Obviously, he knocks him out, he ties him up, cuts out his intestines, and leaves him trailed on the floor, and then says to the guy, "Okay, let's talk." And that's how he starts the interrogation with the guy. So he's not above being a completely psychotic bastard.
Yeah. So Hannibal in the movie Hannibal.
So should we talk? You want to talk about the musical interlude?
Harry Heck, I believe his name was Harry Heck.
Yes, it
Yes.
was Harry Heck.
Which
Loved
he would have
it.
initially been called Harry Heck Thornton, but they didn't want it. It was sounded too close to Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
Like
So they just kept him Harry Heck.
on its own, taken out of the movie, I like it. I like that. I like that. I like the song. I like the performance in the movie. Why do we have a musical interlude?
I wouldn't call it a musical interlude. I like
The
it.
entire movie stops so that we can listen to this man sing a song.
And it's a bloody good song.
Is this like did I die?
It's a nice song.
Is this purgatory?
I really
The movie
like,
stops.
I really like when films give personalities to hitmen. When they're not just hired goon number 3.
It's not a personality. It's a
A quirk.
Yeah.
Okay, so now
It's a
maybe
trait.
this may shed some light on it, and then maybe be the best time to tell you. So, the director, he wanted a bigger budget of the film for 64 million, like most action films got at the time. He only got 33 million. 15.5 million of that went towards shooting and post production. They had 52 days to shoot, which isn't much really. Half the time of a normal action film. So there was a lot of the script, most of the script, in fact, had to be rewritten and reworked in order to work in the time frame. So I would imagine initially that original script would have been something a lot closer to the Harry Heck stuff. Would have been
Okay.
more my understanding.
They could have saved a lot of money by losing Joan and the comedy sidekicks and the first half an hour of the movie.
So I don't want to lose.
But then you've just
Spacker
got
Dave.
the Punisher brooding by himself in an apartment is essentially the Punisher brooding by himself in a sewer, which ain't good.
It is good.
It's not.
It's really good. Right.
So he
105.
kills that guy and he steals his car. And he has a year 1 license plate on his car, Punisher. Which, by the way, that was just a coincidence. That wasn't like a clever thing for
Like,
the Punisher
we're
year
talking
1
about
comic.
the Punisher's
It's
Mad
just a
Max
weird-
style car with the shunk up windows.
Yeah.
I liked.
Very Mad
another
Max.
movie they took inspiration from.
I really like that car. I write at 105. I really like Frank's car. At 106, he totals it.
Yeah, and steals the other guy's car.
But that knife he's got, the projectile knife thrower, how much power is in that thing to kill a man in one hit?
Enough power that when they cut back to him on the floor, it's still in the actual thing after he's fired.
Is it really? Yeah.
if you're quick enough, you can catch it.
108, John Travolta finally shouts. That's why I came to this movie. I wanted that. I wanted more shouting John Travolta. There is not enough shouting John Travolta in this movie.
And I like it.
I love it.
I like the fact that Travolta is coasting through this film, nice and easy, nice and simple. He's not overdoing it. He's not facing off.
John Travolta, for most of this movie, sits.
Yes. I
This
like it. He's a mob boss. He's a mob boss who lets
It's
his wife
such an
decide
easy-
everything for him.
Such an easy paycheck for Travolta.
Very much so.
But then that's always playing a mob boss is the easiest thing to do in any
He does
movie.
nothing. He shouts in one
Ooh.
scene.
Look at Kingpin and Daredevil.
Lucky number
Literally
11.
do nothing.
Lucky number 11, 2 mob boss is very good.
Yes, you know what? I can give you that. That's a very good film.
Thanksgiving dinner. They invite Frank over for Thanksgiving dinner.
Not Thanksgiving dinner.
Well,
Not
they're
Thanksgiving.
all like,
oh, so you want to talk about the rush?
they're eating meat and they're all like, oh, I give thanks
They're
for.
eating meat and they give the
Yes, they're eating meat and giving thanks. I'm going to call it Thanksgiving.
Even though they
Okay.
specifically state in the scene it's not Thanksgiving.
I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. I
You
couldn't give a
should.
fuck. I
Well, you
couldn't give a
should.
You
fuck.
should have some
You should
integrity
give a
as a
fuck
podcast.
about what your
Why?
consistent points need
Why
to be.
should I give a fuck about? Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. It's not Thanksgiving. I apologize. But why the fuck
yeah,
should I
thank
give
you.
a shit about anything in this scene? Why do I care that she was a junkie and that he was in prison and that he's fat and likes food? What is the point of these fuckers?
No, I just wanted you to point out that the fact that it wasn't Thanksgiving. That was
Why
all.
are they? Why is it so pointless? I don't care
Because
about them.
they, as us, are trying to humanize the Punisher,
No,
and they
they're
fail.
not.
And they fail.
Yeah,
They
of course
are.
they are.
They're trying to
Why
make
would
him
they invite for
open
dinner?
up.
Yeah.
They're trying to open up, but the Punisher cannot open up. The Punisher cannot be human. He must punish. Booyakasha.
Ergo. Ergo. These characters are fucking pointless.
No, they play
do
the part of
nothing.
the audience.
They do nothing.
Play the audience.
They do not.
I want the Punisher to open up. I want the Punisher to talk to me and explain his actions, but he never will.
Why do you?
So
Because that's how I get to know my characters.
The Punisher is such a one-dimensional character.
Well, we need to remedy that.
We can't because he's so 1D in the source material that he should be as 1D in the films.
Then you get a shit film. Then you get something called, I don't know, what do you call it? The 89 Punisher.
You get 04 Punisher where fuck all happens.
wait till we get to Warzone.
Right.
So Spacker Dave is actually a character in the comics.
Yes,
and
he
he's more
is.
of an informant.
Yes.
In that.
But he's not called Spacker in this film, is he?
That's what he's listed as.
He's listed
online
as, but I don't
as Spacker
remember
Dave.
him being called that.
No, he's not. He's just called Dave in this.
Yeah, Dive.
Dave. So the Russian. Here's where I get to play Guess the Wrestler. Do you know which WWE superstar this is?
Brock Lesnar's great grandson.
Trish Stratus.
I'll give you some hints. He was in the NWO.
Trish Stratus.
He often blew out his knees due to injury.
Booker T.
Goldberg.
No, not fucking.
Sting.
Mark Henry.
All right, well, thank you for playing. I'm very
Shawn
impressed.
Michaels.
Kane.
Was it Eugene?
Oh, I want to see.
Oh, that would have made a very interesting scene.
Eugene
And you don't want comedy in your Punisher. No, it was Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash plays the Russian.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
Kevin Nash.
yeah.
And funnily enough, during that fight, I believe he accidentally stabs him. He actually, straight up accidentally just gets Kevin Nash.
When they're doing the reversal.
Yeah, but during one of the fights, he accidentally catches him with the knife
I'd like
proper.
to talk about this fight.
Which I enjoyed the fight.
Good fight. Goes on for too long.
Really? You think it's a good
I love when there's an oblivious fight scene. I love when I don't necessarily like, oh, someone's wearing headphones, they can't hear anything. I like when there's people over there who are right nearby who are oblivious to the fact that there is something heinous going on. And then they're playing La Donna e Mobile over that. And that is so good because it's about how there are these killings going on and they are just completely oblivious to it until that one moment, till the crescendo.
I will give you that I enjoy people being oblivious to a fight.
What I enjoy about this fight, finish your point.
But
For that.
this whole fight is why is it it's a scene from Bottom.
No.
Yes.
No.
He baseballs a grenade.
Yes.
He squashes Frank's head in the fridge.
Okay. Acceptable.
It's fine.
He squashes the gun with a dumbbell.
Kind of fun.
No, I like that. I thought that made me laugh.
He picks Frank up and Frank is like, oh, not again. That is his face. And at the very end, they're like, are you okay, Frank? I'm fine. Faints. The entire scene
I'm
is
fine,
a
he's
farce.
What I like about that, and it's something I quite like about Punisher, is when someone just kicks the absolute shit out of him. Like, there's something about that I enjoy. in Punisher.
I like it when the Punisher gets his ass handed to him.
There's a very good scene of that on Netflix.
But-
when he's tied to a chair.
Yeah, but this is a comedy scene. This is Aid Edmonds and Rick Mail going to hit you with a frying pan. Let's talk about the pointless side characters some more because the fight bursts into their flat and they do nothing.
Well, what are you going to do if you saw a giant Russian man beating up someone you know could
Why
murder you in nothing?
doesn't one of the side characters pick up the pot of boiling water
They're
and
in
throw it at the
shock.
Russian?
Would you?
They're in shock.
If somebody burst into my apartment and was strangling one of my friends, I might try and help him with a pot of boiling water on
In
the
a
side.
while, but that wouldn't be your first action.
No, my first action would be to recoil. The door's just broken.
Assess
Scary.
the situation.
Assess the situation, which they have plenty of time to do while they struggle on the hob. And then I grab the water and throw it in.
They've got maybe 10 seconds max.
Look, the point is the characters are completely fucking pointless. They have no urgency, no agency. They do nothing. They contribute nothing. They need to be cut out of the fucking film.
Specker Dave doesn't sell him out.
That's, again, doing nothing. He doesn't do anything because he says nothing.
That was improvised. That bit of torture stuff.
Really?
Mostly improvised, that scene. Funnily enough.
Well, so they just said, you, try and get him to talk. You, don't talk.
And we haven't talked about the fact that he's setting up a fake affair between the mob boss's wife and his right-hand man.
Very contrived.
Very
Isn't it?
contrived.
Isn't it?
I mean, oh yeah, I'm going to put the earring on his bed because I know for a fact that Travolta's going to go in there and look at the bed.
Yeah.
And why are the earrings kept in a fucking glove box or wherever they are?
No. But by the way, those were real. Those
Really?
are real
Really?
Harry Winston diamonds. Worth at least $1 million.
Right.
Why?
I don't know why, but they were legit Harry Winston diamonds. I don't know why he decided part of the budget had to go towards
Just get
real
some cubic
diamonds.
zirconius.
Look at that pulling out the QVC days.
Oh, hang on. Going back to the Russian fight.
Just tape some cats together because diamonds don't look like diamonds on film. You have to tape cats together.
Yeah, it's like the...
What if you want a horse? You use your dog.
No, it's inside the actor studio with Michael Caine. You just have a box of sausages and they look like cigars on camera. He just smokes a sausage.
When you're delivering your lines, don't blink.
Yeah, so the Russian scene, they send a hitman. They specifically say, call the Russian.
Another hitman.
No.
After the first one didn't work.
After the singing hitmans, the hitmanogram.
Hitmanogram. Can we
Failed.
call them all hitmanograms now? That's what they might like.
they send Russian Olympic gold medalist
Kevin Nash.
Spandau Kevin Nash. And then 10 minutes later, they send the goon squad.
Yeah.
Like with 4 men just rocked up ready to fight.
Yeah, Russia's dead, torture scene.
No, because they didn't even know he's dead. They just go, oh yeah, just make sure it's done.
Yeah, that's true.
They have
There's,
no reason to turn up. They
There's
just
an
did.
I believe there's an alternate take of that scene on the DVD where Frank doesn't fall down. Comes back upstairs and he's talking to them. I can't remember exactly what happens. And he turns back around and the Russian's gone.
Well, yeah, I like the idea that he's an invulnerable dude that would just turn up at any moment and come back in the franchise.
Again, another character from the comics. Like, I don't know too much about him, sadly.
I'm glad that you guys have made notes because from this point I don't make a note for 23 minutes
That's fine.
because
So,
I'm not engrossed in the movie and the movie's just completely unnoteworthy.
See, I've not got a whole lot of notes left because I was engrossed in the movie and didn't bother.
two very different ways to see it.
We have different opinions. It's just that yours is wrong.
That happens
2 out
too
of 3.
many
It makes you the one in the wrong, my friend.
I don't think it does.
Oh, it is.
No,
I'm sorry.
there can be only one.
So they get the we see Punisher getting patched up, which he does actually legit go too deep on the prosthetics and actually does give Jane a few actual stitches.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
I kind of like the fact that the only thing she says during the I'll do this for you, Lewis, Thanksgiving dinner, quotation marks.
You're saying it like I'm such a fucking idiot for assuming it was Thanksgiving dinner when they're all sat around giving thanks.
Yes. Thank you for working out what I'm saying to you, Lewis,
Sorry,
the dickhead.
sorry for assuming it's Thanksgiving dinner.
When they specifically say it's not Thanksgiving.
And I'm not engrossed in the movie and couldn't give a fuck about these people.
Audience, I may have just ended our friendship.
Well, you chose this film, did you? I'm pointing at the one that really did.
I didn't choose this film.
You said we're going to all watch the 3 Punisher films. They're the best thing ever.
Yeah, I said we'll watch the Punisher films and then Dan chose this film.
Oh, and then by the way, I get a text last night, 11 fucking PM, saying, by the way, there's not a lot about Warzone being a full start. You need to do a lot of research, Ash.
There's about
Fuck you.
There is about the same amount as there was for Punisher 89. And
Look,
motherfucker,
guys.
I went to 3 French magazines from the 1990s.
True.
So we get to the end and we're at the big storm the castle.
Get to the end.
Or do you want a
No,
bit more
come on.
before that?
I've just got notes on Travolta because there's not too much Travolta in this film, and I like the fact that he's taking it easy, that he's not over Travoltaing it.
But why? You
Because-
hire Travolta to be Travolta.
No,
Surely.
you hire him to be a name.
So he gets out. The torture scene happens. He comes back out. He kills a mob boss with a blade from a chopping thing
from a guillotine.
from guillotine. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that was fucking sweet.
I lost the name for the word guillotine there.
Although guillotines are meant to be sharpened on a regular basis, that would have gone way more through the amount of skull it did.
I would have assumed so.
I wanted him to put the goon in the guillotine.
See, I because I used to work in a company that had a print factory, there was a urban legend story went around of a bloke who got caught in the guillotine of chopping business cards, and it was not a pretty sight.
I can imagine.
So it would have gone a lot more through than an inch of the skull at the top.
I mean, I was half expecting him, and this felt kind of anticlimactic for me. I was expecting him to just hack the shit out of him
Yeah,
with the thing, just really hack him.
I
up.
was expecting a decapitation.
So I was expecting him to go out like 4 or 5. Kind of like, have you played
Something
Last
the
of Us?
Punisher would do.
Have you seen Have you played The Last
Of course, I played The Last of Us.
What Ellie does to that guy, the machete, near the end.
The Nolan North guy, the creepy fucking
The creepy eat people do.
yeah.
During the winter.
God, what a game!
What game? Anyway, I was expecting something more akin to just hack the shit out of him. But then he gears up and he gives his monologue, his mantra, which is, I believe that comes from the first Warzone Punisher comic. Yeah, it's from the War Journal one. That's his mantra as to why he's doing it.
Okay.
Which is, for the audience?
I don't remember it. If you remember it, because I don't remember it.
So, should we talk about the last big action scene where he goes full Punisher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this. I like him going full Punisher.
Murders a lot of people.
It's very short.
It's not gratuitous enough for me, I find.
Well, even, I think, slightly before then, at the killing of Quentin and Travolta's wife.
Oh yeah, the Bowie thing. It was like, you're killing me.
Yeah.
He talks about Bowie.
Yeah.
John Travolta punishes more people than the Punisher in this movie. At this point. At that point in the movie, John Travolta punishes more people than
He'd
the
already
Punisher.
No,
killed
but
the
that point he
Russian
killed
and
4
the singing
people.
man. The Hitmanogram.
Nah.
No, he absolutely had.
No,
he killed the 2 in the bank.
Because John
and he
Travolta killed
him.
Frank's entire family.
No, he didn't kill his entire family.
He ordered it.
He ordered it, but he didn't kill them.
Didn't actively do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the point where I thought the film was dragging. I really liked it, but I thought, bloody hell, this film's gone on for a while.
No, again, it is a criticism I can levy at the movie. It does go on for too long. You can't deny that.
It's really long.
It's a
But
very
then-
long film.
We make up for it with explosions. So many explosions.
There's a lot of explosions in that
Murdering
final
and stabbing
scene.
people and putting a bomb in a champagne bucket,
Yeah.
which I liked.
But again,
Because the
it's
bloke pulls
very
out and
short.
goes,
Again, though, it is a very short scene for his
makes
big
quick work of
grand
it.
finale.
Makes quick work of his murdering. I think that comes down to budgetary constraints. I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
there would have been way more murder in this movie if they didn't have such budget constraints.
But then,
Murder is expensive. That's why you don't do it, kids.
It is, that's why it's CG'd these days.
after his big final scene where he drags John Travolta on the back of his car and
Made you kill your
somehow
best friend,
manages
made
to
you kill your wife.
make a skull out of a bunch of flaming cars, just
Yeah,
random explosions.
a
and
bit
it's
of
all the skull.
overkill.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Are you punishing the car? Is it a car owner, a car dealership? Is it a
you
car
know-
park?
Whose cars are these?
Whose cars are
You
they?
got to assume they're the mob cars. But it's
Well,
there,
that
seem,
many.
there seemed to came a theme around this time of having your symbol in fire.
Daredevil.
Because Daredevil does it as well.
A Marvel
It's
thing.
I
Yeah.
know where that sign is. It's there. Ha ha! Flaming D's.
But then there's still 12 minutes of the movie left.
Yeah, because he's got to
And I'm
tell
thi-
his woman about the obituaries.
Yeah, I'm thinking, he's become the Punisher. He's punished John Travolta.
Hang on. You
What's-
think at the end of the film, you're like, okay, he's become the Punisher, let's wrap it up. But halfway through the film, when he becomes the Punisher, you're like, oh, it's too late for him to become the
Sorry,
Punisher.
no, sorry, right. he has achieved what he set out to achieve. He has killed John Travolta.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's going to happen in these 12 minutes?
Well,
and then it dawns on me.
Nothing.
Fucking dawns on me.
Kill himself.
That,
'Cause he's done.
that we're going to have more scenes with the comedy sidekicks, aren't we? And we do.
Well,
We have one more scene.
Here we have the error of the character. The fact that the character, once they're punished, has nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And I would have cut that scene out because I get it that like he's done what he wanted. He's done with it. But I think I would have cut it out.
You know how I would have left it? Gun in the mouth, fade to black. Because I like the idea that he is spent. He's done his task that he set himself. So where else is there to go? Gun in the mouth, close it. And then you can have the franchise if it's successful enough. But I think it suits, knowing nothing about the character other than the last 2 films I've seen, I think this is an appropriate conclusion. That the man has done what he set out to do. End.
Okay.
But he's got to go and kill all the murderers and rapists, and he is the Punisher.
Nazi
he-
paedophile rapist.
Yeah.
He sees I don't know. Is he meant to see the ghost or is he seeing heaven? And he sees his wife. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, but he sees his wife
Oh yeah, the ghost.
and he doesn't kill himself.
Yeah, the wife kind of
Don't
seems
know.
to tell him, "No, don't do it. Don't bother coming to heaven with us. It's too cool."
And then he leaves the comedy characters a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, he does.
And it ends with him going, "I am the Punisher,"
it
and that's the
does.
film.
That is
On reflection,
Darkness
the
franchise.
film.
on reflection, since we're at the end of the movie, it's not a fantastic film,
It's really not.
but I don't hate it. I was more engaged with this film than I was with the '89 Punisher.
See, here's how I tend to rate films: is if it was just on TV while I was flicking through the channels, would I just have it on? Not necessarily would I watch it. Would I think it's decent enough to just have on?
Yeah.
And the '89 I would not. This one I would.
Actually, if this was on TV with the adverts, it'd be over 3 hours long.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily factor in because it's just if I have it on in the background. If I'm genuinely gonna watch it, I'm gonna stick DVD on.
But
do you
why
know
would
what?
you genuinely watch this?
I would
It's
sit
better
down
than
and
the
say,
'89.
It's
if
not.
it was on TV,
It's not.
I actually don't think I'd watch either of these.
Yeah.
I'd put Netflix on.
I mean, I still stand by the fact that the Punisher is not a good character.
He's,
No,
You're right. He's not. He's not a great character.
he comes from very well. He comes from effectively the dark ages of comics.
Well, here's the thing.
No.
I've still got what's it called?
Warzone.
Warzone to watch.
WWF Warzone.
In your house.
And if that doesn't make me want to watch the Netflix series, then it's failed because these two haven't.
Why? It's a completely different iteration of the character.
But it's
on
still the
Netflix
Punisher.
series.
It's still going to follow the same Punisher lines.
I see. On the Netflix series, he's
See, on Punisher Series 1, we're introduced to him in the hospital, and Daredevil tries to stop him.
But I
And
also
that's a
have no
very good
interest in
introduction.
Daredevil.
No, that's not Daredevil Series 2. That's Punisher Series 1.
Right. Okay.
see in the Netflix series, John Bernthal. He gets
Dude from Walking Dead series
yes,
one.
he
Yeah.
gets Frank Castle's rage. You get the full on rage mode there.
No, he's perfect for Punisher, and
He is great. He
It's
is
like-
very,
it's
It's no
the-
Clive Owen.
it's the best iteration.
But what do we think? Well, we know what we think about
I've-
this movie.
I've told you what I
Listeners,
think.
you know what we think about this movie. You know what I think about this movie.
Well, I've got a couple more facts I
Go
can run you
for
through,
it.
unless you guys got any more notes or anything more.
I do not. No.
Well, Jane, he turned down the role of the Punisher twice for this, as he didn't think he didn't really see himself as a superhero actor. But he changed his mind though when he saw Tim Broadstreet's artwork, and from there he started to read more Punisher comics, and he fell in love with the Punisher.
He changed his mind when they pulled up a lorry load of money to his house.
That probably also helped. Development of this apparently began as early as 1907. Really, and then in 2000, Marvel made a deal with Artisan Entertainment to make 15 of their characters into movies. So
And they started with Daredevil and the Punisher.
no, Artisan Entertainment did this And then the last movie they did was Warzone. Punisher Warzone.
Christ.
Before they were bought out. I can't remember who was bought them out, but they were done almost immediately.
Disney bought them out.
Hensley stated that the film pays homage to, like as I said to you, a bunch of other movies, but specifically he pointed out stuff like Mad Max and Othello. But Othello, but reversed. Right?
Shit.
Right?
Othello reversed is Othello.
It's
It's probably not.
it's no point being
It's
Othello.
Othello.
At that point, there's no point in it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's after that I've got a bunch more notes about the sequel stuff, which I can. Oh, here we go. Before I forget, I almost forgot this. Someone bring it up earlier, but didn't get a chance. That explosion that happens in front of the bank.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people actually called 911 because they thought that was legit.
Perfect.
Because they didn't advertise it enough ahead of time.
They never do. But also, one of the last scenes of the film, Jones stops him and says, "Oh, what are you gonna do now?" And he's like, "Oh, just read the papers every day, and you'll hear about me." And we all know, oh yeah, that's cool. He's gonna be doing some killing, and stuff's gonna turn
Dolph
up in the
Lundgren's in the
papers.
Expendables.
and then she's like, "Yeah, but what section? We don't need that. We don't need the what section." And for him to turn around and go, "The obituaries, duh."
We don't need Joan full stop.
So
We don't
Jane?
we don't need a good 45 minutes of this movie.
I would say you do need to cut it down. It's shortened, but I don't hate this film.
I do.
I know you do.
We can cut.
Just so angry.
I reckon we
It
could
has
cut
it
down.
has moments. It has moments. But god damn, I hated the movie.
We could cut down a lot of him preparing for taking down Travolta. So the whole water hydrant thing and all that.
Yeah.
We can have that in a kind of ocean-style flashback, maybe, and that would be very quick.
Well, you guys keep it for your pictures because maybe you've got something just like that in your pictures.
Do you have something just like that in your pitch, Dan?
No, but I do have some more stuff about Jane and his role as Punisher.
Okay.
'Cause he's done
Give me
a
that.
he's done a lot.
Shall we go to a break and hear after the break?
All right, so we're going to take a break. Our pod wife for this one is On the Ledge podcast. Go give him a listen, and we'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Jane Perrone, and I'm the host of a podcast called On the Ledge. If you've ever wondered where you've gone wrong with that spider plant that's turning yellow, or despaired over your dead Venus flytrap, then this is where my podcast comes in, because On the Ledge is all about houseplants, indoor gardening, how you can keep your plants alive inside. I've been obsessed with houseplants since I was a little kid, but there's still loads for me to learn. So come along and learn with me. I talk to the experts, help to answer your houseplant problems, and struggle over Latin names. On the Ledge is available on all good pod apps, and you can check out my website at janeperrone.com.
And we're back.
I've got a sponsor. I've got a sponsor.
Couldn't help himself. Had to steal the glory. I know you got a sponsor. It's the running joke. Go on then.
It's not a joke.
Speak for yourself.
I mean, this is a joke. So
It's not a joke.
Jehovah's Witness.
This is a serious sponsorship.
is it Rich's Salty Johns where you can get Lewis flavoured ones?
No.
Try them today.
Oh, gross. I mean, we're sponsored by them, so yeah, fantastic. As this is the Punisher threequel we're doing,
The Thrilogy.
we have an agreement with Ginger Eggs to continue being sponsored for them. So this is the second episode. So please, ladies and gentlemen, please accept your second Ginger Egg for the day.
Oh, it's Powerpuff. I hope it's not the new shitty remake.
It is.
Ah, shit.
I will say we've already had the shitty Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
A week ago.
Hero
We
Turtles
had that a
over
week
here,
ago.
we
though,
had
didn't
that
we,
a week
Ashley?
ago.
We had that a
We
week
did,
ago.
yeah.
I believe they were called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles over here. And they wouldn't let the use of nunchucks be shown.
I've got Splinter, the sewer shit, who can't hold his saw properly, so he's got to store it on the ground.
Dan, don't eat on the mic. You've got to tell me all about sequels and full starts and stuff. Me and Ashley will eat our ginger eggs
On the mic.
on mic.
Oh yeah, by the way,
Listen to the unwrapping. We're gonna make
Get the
millions
ASMR in there.
millions of views because people love watching shit being unwrapped on the internet.
Thank you to Ginger Eggs
Yeah,
for
through
this
audio.
sponsor. Enjoy a satisfactory chocolate treat before Jinder Mahal comes and ruins it for you.
Still funny. Still funny. So, Thomas Jane has played quite a lot of Punisher, actually. So he voiced the video game character, the 2005 video game. I don't know if you guys played that.
Nope.
So it's interesting. I think is the best way to put it. And then in July of 2012, a short film called Dirty Laundry was premiered at the San Diego Comic Con. And this is a little mini Punisher thing. Jane reprised his role, and guess what? It also starred Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman looks like he would be a Punisher man.
He
I
could,
know.
he'd be very good as a bad guy in the Punisher films.
I beat with my ginger egg stupidly and it stuck to my teeth.
Bloody hell, it has. You look
Well, that's
like
what you get.
You look like the thespian from the '89 version.
Well, that's why. That's what you get.
I can't
trying
remember
to
the
shit
name
all
of this
over me.
particular Powerpuff Girl.
Which one is it?
This one.
Blossom.
Why has it got brush? Why has it got a brush? Why does it need a? It's
Why
got
is it so
paint.
high?
It's got paint.
It's makeup.
Yeah, I got Powerpuff makeup. Fuck all you.
I mean, you're welcome to. I wasn't going to stop you.
So we're on a detour here. Dirty Laundry.
Yeah, Dirty Laundry. Have Ron Perlman in it. Shown at SDCC.
It was excellent.
Thomas Jane reprised his role. So Lion Gates Entertainment planned to produce a direct sequel to The Punisher 2. Avid Arad, chairman and CEO of Marvel Studios, he stated that the second film would become the fifth Marvel property to become a sequel. John Hensley said that he was interested in working with Thomas Jane again for The Punisher 2. Jane said the villain for The Punisher 2
Punisher
would be...
choose.
I'm trying to work out what the others are. Spider-Man 2 and 3. Elektra.
Yeah, so this would have been...
Of the fifth. Oh, okay.
The fifth, yeah.
Does Elektra count as a sequel?
I guess
I
technically.
think so. Well, no,
I mean-
it's spin-off, isn't it? It's a spin-off.
Yeah. So Jane has stated that apparently the villain would be Jigsaw. I don't know who Jigsaw is. But I'm assuming not...
I know who Jigsaw is.
I'm assuming not Jigsaw,
Jigsaw.
our friend who's Lord Buckethead.
I want to play a game.
I'm assuming not him.
No, I think Jigsaw's going to be the villain in the second Netflix series. This guy with a properly fucked up face.
Do you know what? That'd be kind of cool.
Does it fall apart and you have to put it back together? You have to get all the corners.
why he's called Jigsaw.
Parts are missing and everything. It's just really annoying. So, yeah, where am I? Here we go. The project, it lingered in development for over 3 years. Hensley apparently completed a first draft of the script before pulling out around 2006. John Dahl was in talks to direct the film, but pulled out due to script quality issues. The studio not wanting to spend a lot of money on the project. So, clearly we're off to a rollicking good start. In a statement on May 15th, 2007, and in 2 audio interviews, Thomas Jane said that he pulled out of the project due to creative differences and the budget of the filming being cut. In addition, the director, Walter Hill, being turned down as director by Lionsgate. And then after reading the new script by Kurt Sutter, Jane stated, "What I won't do is spend months of my life sweating over a movie that I just don't believe in. I've always loved the Marvel guys and I wish them well. Meanwhile, I'll continue to search for a film that one day might stand with all those films that the fans have been asked me to watch."
But here's the thing. The first, so the 04 film was literally a success. It made a profit, as small as it was.
Yeah.
If it came out now, if a sequel came out now, it would be part of the Marvel U. It has to be.
No, it wouldn't.
It would have to be.
No, because, I mean, Ang Lee's the Hulk isn't, but the Incredible
because
Hulk
that-
is. And that's technically a reboot.
What one was the Liv Tyler one?
Like
What was the Liv Tyler Edward Norton?
Ed
Ang
Norton.
Lee one.
Oh, I love that one.
No,
That's my favourite
that wasn't. The Ang Lee one was Eric Bana.
Who's the chick in the Ang Lee one? I'm thinking.
Jennifer Connelly? No. Yes,
Connelly?
Jennifer Connelly, I think. But I mean, the Incredible Hulk, the 2008 one, that's barely a part of the MCU.
Barely a part, but
It is
it
barely,
is canon
yeah.
because it is
It
part
is
of
canon,
the.
but it's barely canon
It
these
is,
days.
it is part of the DVD collections. So in summer of 07, Marvel Studios announced that Lexi
Actually, I hope
Alexander.
that's permanent painted. myself.
I want to know how much is on there. I'm going to have a look.
Marvel Studios announced that Lexi Alexander would direct the film as a result of Dahl pulling out, and Ray Stevenson would play the Punisher in the new film.
Okay.
And then eventually, this Punisher 2 became Punisher Warzone,
Right.
which became its own movie, effectively a reboot of that first Punisher film with no connections to it. And yeah, this is the second time the film series has been rebooted after Lewis's 89 pick of Punisher. And that's all the information you can get on a Punisher sequel for the 2004 film.
Dan,
Yes.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Didn't listen to half of what you were saying because
Yeah,
I was
I know.
putting together my ginger egg toy and watching Ashley paint his face.
Oh.
I
Painting
know.
my
You tried to
face.
interrupt as well.
It
Did
looks
I?
pretty good.
Yeah, a few times.
Don't even remember that.
I know. You're a dickhead.
What you got?
I don't know. I'm going to find out what I got. While I find out what I've got, Ashley, give me your pitch.
I'll give you my pitch.
Have you got Modododo?
It
No,
looks
I
like Roger.
wish. I've got Professor
Oh,
X.
God.
Ah.
We were so close to having the Powerpuff Girls trifecta.
He
So-
doesn't do anything.
So I'll take you back to the last scene, or the penultimate scene of Punisher 04, where Joan says to Castle, "What are you going to be doing now? Oh, just read the papers and you see it. What fucking section should I look at? Just read the fucking obituaries. I get it. Okay."
Verbatim.
Yes.
Sorry, this glows in the dark. That's what that does.
Wow.
Just
Yeah,
the
but
bottle-
can you
just the
paint your
bottle.
face with it?
No.
Ah.
I can't David Bowie my face.
Do you look sexy? So, Joan is reading the paper, as she has done for all the days since last seeing Frank. Dutifully, she turns to the obituary page, and sure enough, there are a number of loving and thoughtful remembrances to the dead, all written by the star obituary writer and journalist Frank Castle. The end.
Right.
What's the title of your movie?
Punisher Death Writer.
Death Right.
Good name.
Is there any other thing else that happens in the movie?
No, it's
Or do we just follow Jane watching...
Joan.
looking at
Her name's Joan, as you would
Reading.
know, because it's your film.
remember the character names.
So Jane Joan,
Joan,
is she just her reading the newspaper for an hour and a half?
for 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
Hour and a half.
Yeah.
As the layman
That's
calls
the layman
it.
may put it, yeah.
Yeah, just the obituaries.
we don't see the Punisher at all in your Punisher sequel.
We see him writing.
We see him writing.
He's not called the Punisher
So he's come to
anymore.
terms
Frank
with
Castle.
his murder,
Yeah, but he needs to
And
make
no-
sure. The
and no one
is-
arrested him.
thing is, the last little soliloquy he gives at the end of the 04 Punisher is that all paedophiles and evil people are going to know his
Hitlers.
name. So he makes sure to send this paper out to as many evil people as he can.
Okie dokie. Well, not quite the picture I was expecting.
It was a good pitch.
Joe, I want to save. I think I want to save you for last.
It
Lewis.
was that pitch.
I think I want to save you for last. Lewis.
Save me for best.
So my one. We start with film at where we left off with Spencer, Ben Foster, Bumpo, John Pinette, and Joan, Rebecca Romijn. We find the money left them by Frank.
Sorry, you mean Jane.
Did you just call her Rebecca Romijn?
Robinson.
I can't read my own handwriting, which is the problem.
Isn't it Rebecca Romaine?
This is the Punishers.
Guys, you see my terrible handwriting.
Look! This new film star Rebecca Romijn.
Excuse me, I'm not interrupting your pitch.
Oh Christ! Carry
There's
on.
still time.
Carry on.
So they find the money left for them by Frank. They can't decide how
Frank.
to use it, but make a deal to do something together. Later, Joan is walking home from the diner. They decide to go on fairly as before until they have a plan what to do with the money. They decide they all want to spend it together as a three. She gets jumped by a drug dealer. Insert terrible exploitative film sexual assault scene.
Right.
Luckily, Spencer and Bumpo are nearby, and together the three of them fight him off.
What's a bumpo?
Who are Spencer and Bumpo?
A couple of jagged and hard to follow jump cuts later, and the dealer slumps to the ground, dead, and Spencer has a knife in his hand. Spencer's back a day. At first, Joan and Spencer panic, but Bumpo goes through the dealer's bag and holding up a bag of cocaine, says suggestively, "Hey guys, I have an idea of what we can do with all that money." We cut to then 2 years later. So Frank Castle has moved on to a different city to clean up crime there. It's only mentioned in a quick scene where some cops are talking about how things used to be a bit easier from that one time the Saint family were, all killed by the Punisher. It's a shame though that nowadays there seems to be a new shadowy organisation taking over, and no one really knows who the bad guys are. Can you guess where I'm going with this?
Bumpo.
Is it Rebecca Rummaging?
So you can pick whatever city you want to Punisher to be in. But anyway,
Detroit.
yeah, sure, why not? Detroit's
Delhi.
the company.
Delhi.
That'd be interesting, actually. So
Come
anyway,
on.
he hears news of this, and he realizes, oh, it's his old three friends. So he goes back to take them out. See, Joan, Bumper, and Spencer are now,
Wait, they are the bad guys?
they are the bad guys.
Also, how has he learned time travel to go back to Delhi before it was Mumbai?
Ask him that. He fell Delhi. So they end up killing Castle's cop friend, which apparently he has in this now. And when Castle hears that, he comes back to town and ends up going on a rampage and putting them down. And that's that. And we end on a scene of him being super sad that he killed his friends.
Lewis,
Yeah.
remember when the Punisher was writing obituaries and they're really cool? We'll go back to them times.
Yeah, I know you don't give a fuck. It's fine. It's called Punisher Welcome Back, Frank. Go on, do your one.
Okay.
It's not, is it?
Yes, it's called Welcome Back, Frank.
Right.
It's all right. I know you guys don't give a fuck. You're not listening. It's all good.
I found this really hard to write a sequel to this film. No, genuinely.
Because the
did.
film had already done everything in the one film. You couldn't add to it.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Sure. But I mean, here we go. Right. So we
Yeah, go
open
on.
with a big montage of Frank killing a bunch of people, including some guy that he doesn't quite kill, just like totally fucks his face up. And
Why doesn't he kill him?
Because the cops arrive.
Right, okay.
The cops arrive. The cops in Punisher 04 know Frank is alive because he stands on the steps. Remember the scene where in Punisher 04 where Frank stands on the steps? He's like, "Hello, policeman friend. I am alive. We won't see you for the rest of the movie." Remember that? That happened.
Remember,
Yeah, I remember
the
that.
scene in 89 where he stands on the steps outside the court and he goes, "Hello, everyone. I am alive."
Yeah, but at least the fucking cops come back. Right. Right. So the cops know Frank is alive. And they show up, stop him killing this guy. He's just fucked his face up. They're well aware that he's killed all of the John Travoltas. They arrive just in time to stop Frank killing this guy. And they have to hunt him down. And this is the first act of the movie. Is the police hunting Frank down and Frank, non-lethally evading them, taking them out. It concludes with a massive car chase like Blues Brothers big. Frank with his Mad Max style car, which I wanted to see some more of, trying to escape bullet shields, oil slicks, 6 stunts, dank drifts. But eventually, the police capture him. And Frank, the Punisher, goes to jail. And who's in that jail? Rebecca Rummaging. It's not. It's the Kingpin. And you're damn fucking right it's Michael Clark Duncan reprising his role from Daredevil. And he's pissed. He's pissed at Frank for ruining part of his criminal empire by killing all of the John Travoltas. So he sends a bunch of D-list villains to kill Frank, and you nuke and shotgun people we can fuck up with no real consequence for the rest of the MCU. He can't kill them, obviously, because he's in jail, and it's a sequel to this movie where he didn't really kill people to the last 5 minutes. The fight scenes, they're all shot like dirty laundry, so it's bones coming out of the skin using prison weights as a weapon, super violent.
Hey,
Go on.
you had an issue with the weights being used as a weapon in
I
this
had an
very
issue
film.
with the weights being used to comedy squash a gun. Different. Anyway, so Frank knows the Kingpin is gunning for him, and he's about to retaliate when one of the guards is like, "Hey, Frank, he's your lawyer." And Frank's like, "What lawyer?" Then he goes to see, and it's Jon Favreau playing Foggy Nelson from Punisher 03. We are building this cinematic universe, people. We're building.
Professor X fits in my Ninja Turtle hand. He's now his new
good.
weapon.
Act 3. This is where I really struggled. So it's just a bunch of things I want to happen. I want Kingpin to pay off the warden. I want a big prison yard fight where the guards do nothing, with Frank trying to reach the Kingpin, who is just walking out the front gate smirking, as Frank is being beaten to death by fucking everyone. So Frank is on the ground being stomped on, and then whoosh, he's yanked up into the sky, and all we see is a vague red and blue shape swinging away into the distance, Frank in tow. And he wakes up in the office of Nelson and Murdoch, and Ben Affleck looks at him and he's like, "We need to talk." We fade to black. We fade up again. And at Kingpin Towers, Kingpin, happy with his new freedoms, looking out on his city when boom! A bullet goes through his skull and he slides down the window, leaving a blood smear. And behind him is the guy from the beginning with the right fucked up face. He's Jigsaw. And he draws a skull in the blood smear on the window. And also, I guess he's one of the guys from Punisher 04, one of the Haitians or whatever, that disappear after threatening John Travolta.
No.
And saying they've got more guns and insulting his cigars. He's the Jigsaw. And then credits. And it's called Punisher Supermax.
Can I propose a sequel to your sequel?
Go on.
A cloning lab full of Travoltas. And you go, oh no, the Travoltas.
Attack on Travolta.
I'll tell you what, as long as they are all being Travolta,
Yes.
yes.
Good.
That is the third film.
That's a lot of Travoltas to deal with, though. Well, that's all your pitches. Thank you very much.
Thanks, listeners.
Anyway, thank you all so much for listening. You can find us all on Facebook, Twitter, all that sort of good stuff. You
Where can
find
they
the
vote for their
podcast.
favourite sequel poll?
Oh, if you want to vote for their favourite sequel, you go on Twitter. We'll have a poll up and you can pick the one you like the most. You can find us on pretty much any good places you find your podcasts.
Oh, it's because he can't remember all the places, isn't that right, Lewis?
That's right. That's
Oh.
right.
Yeah.
If you find your podcasts down the bottom of the garden, we'll be there.
We'll be there.
I
Our
mean,
little
we
podcast
will.
gremlins.
Don't look for us. The police will want to know.
It won't be a data file. It'll be us three, just at the bottom of your garden, ready to do a podcast for you.
or gnomes.
Don't think it's weird. It's not weird. So we have one more Punisher film to look at. It'll be Ash's one, which is
Warzone.
Punisher Warzone.
Yeah. Not seen it. Kind of excited.
Nor am I. I probably should do that.
Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. Bye. Bye-bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye. If you get your podcasts from a Blue Peter time capsule, we'll be in there as well. We'll be in there as well. We'll be in there as well. We'll be in there as well.